you guys are getting flooded with reviews, it would seem. And there's more to come, as James has asked me to do some re-reviews on engines with my new camera. It's not new, I've had it for a while now, but I've done some reviews such as the Class 20, and there's my Facebook, Jesus Christ. So reviews such as the Class 20, the C Class, I think the 45-75 and the Terrier are all done with my old camera. So he'd like to see them in more higher detail, which I can completely understand. So today though is the Hornby Class 08. I'd just like to point out some things though. I did get it second hand, so it was slightly cheaper. I think I got it for £53, which is a bargain for this model, as it can go from about 70 or 80 up to like 200 for the sound ones. I've seen some even go up to 300, which is just... You can get kit built, custom kind of built engines for that price. Anyway, so some things I'd like to point out is the window has come off, but it's in the box, and I don't know whether to leave it like that, as the ones at Chasewater, well, the one that we have at Chasewater, we normally have... Well, there goes my Facebook again. Normally we have the window down for runnings, so like on days that we do have the 08 on the passenger train, we normally have it down so the driver or second man can see out the window to the crossings up ahead. Also, the whistle's missing. It's come off and you can see the hole where it was and the glue where it's been re-glued in, and I am going to get a paper clip, bend it into shape and glue it in place, so I'll cut it to size as well. So without further ado and fuzzy focus and such, we shall get on with the review. So this is Hornby's kind of standard sleeve packaging that they use for their 08s, I believe. I don't know how many other locos they do like this, but anyway, it's a DCC ready model, even though my track's only DC. It's an OO scale model, OO scale model railways. The product number is R2417 BR060 Class 08 3256. Now I thought that most diesels, when they were in this livery, they normally had a D in front of them, like D3256 or D... Oh god, no, you put me to... I think it's D... Oh, I cannot remember. I'm sorry. I was going to say the one that's at Chasewater, but I really can't remember it. Diesel electric locomotive. Now, for those of you who aren't sure what diesel electric is, it's a diesel motor, which is normally where the grills are, so the fumes can come out, and also the exhaust. So it's a diesel motor that powers an electric generator, and that electric generator normally powers all the axles on the engine. I mean, you do have some which only power like 2 wheels on the bogie. I can't remember what class it is for the life of me. I think it's an A1A is normally what they say the configuration is, instead of like an 060 or whatever. But this one's an 060 and all the wheels are powered, I believe. Hornby, obviously. Under here you have all the different languages, just telling you they're pretty much the same thing, that you shouldn't give it to people or children under 3 years. Small parts, some components have sharp edges, handle with care, not always the same colour as you see, yada yada yada. And then here you have the top of the locomotive, also showing you that the roof section pulls back. Sorry if my hands are a bit dirty, I was down at Chasewater today. Hornby again, and then on the back we have some history on this locomotive that I have with me, and also the class in general. So, here's the box bit that the sleeve kind of covers. Once again, just pretty much telling you what was on the front of the sleeve, and it's this packaging. So you pull this, there should really be one on each side. There's one, there's that bit you take off, then this bit lifts up and the two sections come apart. So now I don't have to do any research really. All I have to do is read from this box, which is really great. The Class 08 060 diesel electric shunter, based on a prototype by the LMS, which was later reclassified as the Class 11, and when they were with the LMS, they were in a black livery that had LMS. Became British Railways' largest fleet of locomotives. They were built between 1953 and 1962 at Crewe, Darlington, Derby and Doncaster. The fleet, including Class 09s. Class 09s were pretty much the same as an 08, so the same shell, but had a slightly different motor, I believe, or slightly different engine. Have a single cab at number 1 end, so that's there, and a nose section which houses a power unit, generator and control equipment, so that's that bit. The Class 08 shunters, powered by an English Electric 350 horsepower 6 kT engine, have a maximum speed of 15 to 20 miles per hour. Now I believe some can go up to 25 miles an hour, I think, if you push them. The design once numbered over 1,000 locomotives, with around 300 remaining in service today. Still the mainstay of the UK shunting power. If you've ever been to any like shunting yards, or you've passed a shunting yard, you will normally see at least one Class 08 there. I think I've seen one Class 08 in EWS livery, and that was passing it on the way to Birmingham. So the Birmingham line just going to Birmingham. The standard Class 08 can still be seen all over the country and are expected to remain in service for many years to come. Just going back to that thing with around 300, I think they mean 300 in service at Network Rail and also service in reserve lines. So they carry out a wide range of work, including shunting in marshalling yards, shunting depots and short trip workings. Number 3256, which is this one, which was originally built in 1956 as 13256, liveried in BR black, and was allocated to Bristol St Philip's Marsh Depot on the 8th of June of that year. Renumbered D3256, so that D thing that I was talking about earlier came in. In 1961, the loco was eventually withdrawn in July 1983 and scrapped in July 1986. I'm guessing the 80s was the year when they started getting rid of the old stock, I'm guessing. But anyway, on to the loco now. And you've got to be really careful where you put your hands because of the amount of detail that's on this. And I mean, it's not like the Bachmann one. I mean, the Bachmann one has a lot of detail, but this one, it's just so, it's like, it's got this pretty much the same detail as the 08, but the Bachmann one, but it's just this one's so much finer. So here we go. At the front, I guess you could say the grills on the doors here are so much more picked out, and there's more, I guess you could say 3D, so they're moulded a lot better. They even have the little hinges on. I mean, the Bachmann one has hinges too, but they're just not that prominent. Even has a lamp hook on the front, which I believe well, at least my Bachmann one I don't think does. A 3-link chain as well, and a really slim NEM coupling. Metal buffers that are sprung, of course. Holes there where you can add the extra details. And the one that I got didn't come with accessories, but however I bought a Class 08 accessory pack from Peter's Spares last year when I got the Bachmann Class 08, thinking, being naive, thinking that they could interchange, like you could put them on the 08, but you can't. So I'm glad I kept it, as now I can add some of the details, or at least when I send it to GC Weathering to get this renumbered into, and I'll put a picture on the screen now of the engine that I'm on about, into the engine at Chasewater. So this will then be replicated into the picture you just saw. I hope I remember. If I don't, I'm very sorry. If you'd like to see the picture, just go to my Facebook page. Anyway, so yeah, back to the front. I'm getting these ladders removed, as the one at Chasewater doesn't have them, as I heard that they are being used as a rose arch. Yeah, but if you have a look here on the side, you have really, really fine writing, and I really can't read what that says. This one says heating return. Oh, heating return drain is what that one says, and this one says hand light socket heating return drain and fuel oil drains service tank main tank. That's what that says. And then here, that's just giving you all the specs on the engine. So there you go, lake crest, wasp striping. It's really, really crisp. Lots of little fine details. The Bachmann one, in its defence, does have the detail, it's just not painted, which I think kind of lets the model down. Like I said, really, really fine detail on this. And what does that one say at the top? Service fuel oil stop valve. And there you go, there's the window that looks like it's been moved down. And the opening door, which is really, really cool. If you see in there, you even have the detail. So those two things that are very prominent at the minute sticking up, that is the throttle. That black box there is the speedo, which you can move from side to side depending on which side the driver's on, which I thought was a really clever idea. And I'm sure there is more detail there, because there's an orange box up the top there that you can probably just about see. I don't know. Orange box there. That has the switches for the the lights at the front, cab lights, and also control lights. So there's like lights somewhere on the panel that kind of just shows it up for the driver in the dark, just so you don't get the glare off the window for when they're looking out. They just see the controls. And on the back, lots of rivets, window wipers, lamp hooks, all separately fitted. And once again, pretty much the same as on the front buffer beam, holes for accessories, sprung buffers, 3-link chain, I think I forgot to mention, and NEM coupling. And on this side you obviously have, I believe that's for pressure, I think it might tell me here, main tank, and hand light socket engine slump oil drain. Is it slump? Well, that says there. Focus. There we go. So anyway, lots, and like I said before, I think I might keep it so that window's down. Yeah, I might keep it. I quite like that actually. Once again, opening doors. I think there might be a seat down there. I don't know. But just look how thin the connecting rods are on this, and I'll show you the difference when I show you the one on the Bachmann 08. And I mean, the Bachmann 08 is really, really thick. Well, this one's just so fine. And I mean, the chassis detail as well is really, really nice. Really fine. Once again, well, not once again, I haven't told you about this yet. The roof slat opens up. I don't think the one at Chasewater's opens up, I don't know. I always go back to Chasewater. I'm sorry I talk about it that much, but it's nice volunteering down there. Anyway, so here's the Hornby 08. Just to let you know, when it does get renumbered, I will do another re-review, but just of the new number. So yeah, as you probably want to see, you want to see it go up against the Bachmann 08, of course, but you also want to see it go on the layout. I might not do the arty-farty shots that I normally do, as it's just a shunting engine and it's not going to be going around the track. It's just going to be shunting. So, see you in a second. Just turn the control on. So here you go, here's the lovely model. I think what I forgot to mention is also on the buffer beams it has a slightly raised bit. And it's even like, I guess you could say beveled, I believe is the correct word. Because I think people would stand on there to open the doors to get in to the motor or the generator, whichever one they wanted to get to, so they could climb in. And I think that's a really nice thing that they've added there. Just it's slightly raised and beveled. You can really appreciate that detail when you look into it. So anyway, now it's on. You can probably see the Bachmann 08 coming alongside. So if I just put it like that. I mean, on camera it's not straight away visible, but it is thinner here. It's thicker there. You can't tell really the detail as I've weathered that one up so much. This one does have the I think it was D3032. It did have D on the front, but through weathering I've managed to get rid of the D. The ladder's much finer on this one and much stronger, I must admit, because those two are pretty much coming off. This one, for some reason, just looks bulkier. I think probably because they made it was probably on a slightly cheaper budget, so stuff was just made bulkier, whereas finer detail normally costs more. And if you look, this one's like bent slightly, whereas this one's perfectly straight. It just shows the strength of it, although I wouldn't test that out. There's no opening doors on this one, or sliding back roofs, whatever. Also, the vents I've just noticed, this one's got a bigger vent. And I believe there are more steps on it. 1, 2, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, yeah, there's more steps on that ladder than there is on that one. I don't know if it was just different designs. Also, picking out loads of faults now. Also, there are kind of rails that go over the vents there. And that one's just all moulded as one, and then it has like a little bit sticking in, whereas this one's two separately fitted ones. But other than that, I'd say they're both great models. But now I'm picking out so there's writing on this one, there's not on that one. This one just seems finer, and that one seems quite bulky. But on a budget, I'd say that I'd definitely go for the Bachmann one, because it has pretty much the same detail as the Hornby one. It's just this one's just bulkier. But I definitely, if I didn't have the money I had spent on it, even though this one was £50 as it was second hand, I think that one's always the one to go for if you're on a budget, whereas this one, if you have the money to spend, I'd definitely spend it on that one. Anyway, so I'm going to go get this one to go fetch a very long line of trucks, which, if you saw my Facebook video the other day, my Hornby Black 5 and a Bachmann Ginty was pulling it, so that's it over there, the long line. And I mean, look how smooth that is, and the motor's really quiet. Now, I'm not going to judge it by smoothness, as this one, the amount of varnish I've put on it, it's just knackered the engine, the motor. Well, it still runs smooth. It just doesn't like the point. And I mean, that's DC, that's going that slow, so if you can get it going any slower. Nah. Whereas this one, if I get it going backwards, That's on D. I think that one's going slightly faster. But anyway, I'll go get it to go get the trucks. It also has, I think both of them have the mechanism, is if you turn the controller down really quickly, it slows down like gradually and not straight away. Right, so they're not coupling up. This one's a NEM and that one's a large coupling, so. Oh, there we go. I don't know whether you saw me in that shot. Anyway. This is at 40 that's on at the minute, so I'll just turn it down to a more realistic speed. So we have a brake van. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 trucks, 2 brake vans, so that's 17 pieces of rolling stock altogether. Now this hasn't been run in, as when I got it, it was already really smooth, so I think it might have already been previously run in. Just bring up the speed a bit more. It really can haul. And although not prototypical for the time I'm modelling, it will probably be pulling about 3 Mark 1s around all the time, just because it will be the Chasewater one. It'll also do shunting, but I believe in the 60s this one was painted in a light green with a lake crest and a black roof, and had a nameplate on it, but I can't remember for the life of me what it was called. I think it might have been privately owned for a little while, and then we got it and painted it into this livery. By we I mean Chasewater. And it's been one of our shunters for a while. I'll try and bring up some information when I do the video of it when it's been renumbered, but that could be a while yet. It could be next week, I don't know. But yeah, so thanks for watching the video. If I do another video on the Hornby 08, it'll hopefully be when it's been renumbered, and it'll probably be pulling 3 Mark 1s, or at least 2 of the cheapo coaches and 1 guard van. That's if the 2 cheapo coaches don't derail all the time. And it might be looking a bit different, so I hope you've enjoyed this review, and see you in my next review, which could either be of the Bachmann C-Class, the Bachmann Class 20, the Bachmann 4575, the Hornby Terrier, or the Hornby 14XX. It could also be of the Bachmann 03 and the Hornby Any Black Flying Scotsman. So thanks for watching and goodbye.